I know I said New Hampshire was going to be home to stop number 19 on the series, but I decided to take New Hampshire off the schedule for the season of the Castrol GTX Cup Series. For don't ask me why, because I just thought so. So we are we are heading back to Pocono Raceway for the running of the AC Sparkplugs 400. I know he was at Pocono about three races ago, but that's how they used to do it back in the day. So back in the day, they used to run Pocono after the Pepsi 400 at Daytona. Did you know that? Anyway, but we are here today at Pocono for the AC Sparkplugs 400, and we're set for 30 laps of racing on the track called the Tricky Triangle, as it has been affectionately referred to as. So here's your starting lineup for today's running event. On the pole is number 33, Daniel Bouchard, who has his first pole of the season. He's alongside number 97, Jesse Turner, at the wheel of the Sharpie Ford. Going to row number 2 has car 32, the winner of the Winston at Charlotte. It is Zachary Fitzwater, and beside him, two-time winner of the season, Nathan Orman, number 18 Interstate Battery Pontiac. Orman won the season at Rockingham, and he also won at Michigan. Third row is number 25. That is James Henry, and he's alongside number 88, Keith Batson, in the Quality Care Ford. Fourth row has the Dillons, Dylan Young in number 2 and Poteet in 22. On this race here, both those drivers have won twice this season. Young won at Darlington and North Wilkesboro, while Poteet took the victory at Charlotte and Atlanta. Going to row number 5 has another two-time winner, William Brock. He won at Bristol and the first time he was here at Pocono. He's alongside Laura Chung in number 38. Next row down has number 55, Quentin Moore in the Square D Chevrolet. He's alongside Cole Deaver in the GM Goodwrench Chevrolet. Next row has number 16, John Andrews, and number 6, Ryan George, who won the Pepsi 400 this season down the last race on the tour at Daytona. Next row, Joshua Osborne in 20, and number 5, Seth Cole, who won at Richmond this season. Next row down has number 17, the four-time winner this season, Jessica Shelton, and number 17, the DeWalt Tools Ford. She's alongside number 43, Mike Becker, in the Betty Crocker Cheerios Dodge. Next row is number 40, Phil Parker, and number 42, Kyle Matthews. Next row down has number 10, Matt McIntyre, and 31, James Sykes. Next row down has another two-time winner, Charles Sanford. He won at Texas and at Sonoma. I should say Texas and Riverside, excuse me. Shelton won Sonoma, by the way. He's alongside number 7, Alexander Rowe. Next row down has number 99, Levi McIntyre, number 48, excuse me. That is Paul Minnick. Next row down has number 15, that's Allison Rain, and number 19, Ryan Brommer. Next row down has number 71. That is the car of Gabby Conklin. Starting alongside of Gabby will be number 44. That is Tito McCoy. Next row down has number 26, Trent Dunham, and number 8, Amanda Evans. Next row down has number 12. That is the car of Zach Winkle. He's alongside Roberto Crown Jr. Next row down is 28, Kat Batson, and number 11, Samant Ozcon. Next row down has number 1, Clint Buchanan, and number 45, Christian Vargas is starting shotgun, Wes McCoy in 41, and 29, that is the car of Brian Butcher. So 40 cars set for racing here today on this 2.5-mile triangle-shaped track here at Pocono, as the second half of the season has already begun at Daytona. As we are 18 races into the books and 15 left to go on the season here. Like I said, I said next up was going to be New Hampshire, but I decided to dump that track, like I said, for this season.
Gentlemen, start your...
As the command has been given to fire the engines for this race here today, and but we're here at Pocono. We're here at Pocono for the 19th race of the season. As the field rolls up a pit road for the pace limit for the start of the race right after this. Off turn number down the straightaway they call the North Chute here at Pocono, the shortest of the 3 straightaways. And field was about ready to roll off into turn number 3 as we're set for 30 laps of racing. Like I said, I know we were at Pocono just a few races ago, but that was how the schedule was back in the day. Though they ran Pocono in about the near the middle of June, and then they run Pocono again in about the mid to late part of July. As they come off the third corner right now here, Daniel Bouchard leading down the start-finish line, and the green flag is out, and the AC Spark Plugs 400 is underway. Straightaway is very wide here at Pocono, about 3, some 4, sometimes 5 wide racing is how the widest track can be, but they have to narrow it down to about at least 2 wide before they get into turn number 1, which is banked at 14 degrees in banking down the north, down what's called the Long Pond Straightaway, which is 3,055 feet in length, and then into turn number 2, which is banked at 8 degrees. It's a tunnel turn, and there is a tunnel that runs under that corner for the infield traffic. Down the North Chute again, 1,780 feet in length, and in turn number 3, which is the flattest of the 3 turns, that's banked out at only 6 degrees. And here they come on to the longest of the show. Is the front stretch, which is 3,740 feet in length. And Daniel Bouchard leads first lap of this race here. And second position right now is Jesse Turner. Third is the 32 car of Zachary Fitzwater, Kyle Matthews. We saw him duck on the pit road before the green flag even fell, so whatever problems number 42 Texaco Haviland Dodge had has been repaired, and he's back underway. And he is still on the lead lap, though, but barely. He's about...
Was it tight?
Yeah, a little bit. I tend to do it that way, though. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
So battle for second place now happening between the 32 and 97 cars. Fitzwater and Turner now going at it off the first corner now, as Daniel Bouchard, 33, continues to lead this race here. Second position is Turner. Third is now Fitzwater. Orman trying to come up behind it, try to make the move on the outside through turn number 2. Now the 25 car gets a run to the inside. That's James Henry in the 25 Michael Holligan Chevrolet. Looked like he was going to fall in behind Orman a little bit going into turn number 3, but he stays alongside the 18 car, and now it's going to be a draggers coming down the front stretch now here at Pocono. And James Henry had that spot by about a half a car length, but let's see who has the position going into turn number 1. And it's going to be Orman by about a half a car, but James Henry still fighting on the inside lane. Orman's got the outside lane to his advantage, however, and we've seen cars get a good run on the outside at Pocono, oddly enough. But we'll see what happens now going to turn number 2, and James Henry will fall back in line on Orman, and that was by the way for 4th position. And now Quentin Moore dives in the inside in the 55 car. It's been feast or famine for Quentin Moore so far this season, though, as we head in the second half of the year, as we mentioned. But come down the front stretch now. Dylan Poteet moves inside on Dylan Young for position. And here comes numbers 20. Joshua Osborne is going to make a 3 wide on the Dylans now. And Osborne gets by both of them in one fell swoop, but Dylan Young's not going to give up there, and they're still 3 wide down the Long Pond Straightaway now. And now Dylan Young loses now a spot to Poteet as they come off the second corner. And meantime, battle for the lead. Jesse Turner goes out in front, car number 97. Fitzwater to second place, 3rd position. Trying for 3rd is Nathan Orman, and he's got it. So Ford leads. Pontiacs are running 2nd and 3rd. Chevy's 4th and 5th and 6th for the time being as well, too. And here comes Orman down the low side for the 2nd position on Fitzwater. So he comes down through turn number 1. check the fastest lap race so far. Fastest lap is set, in fact, by the man we're looking at, Nathan Orman, 182.076 miles an hour. And now Bouchard fights back in the inside lane. Bouchard trying to turn his season around. It's been kind of up and down for Bouchard in the first half of the season. And now Quentin Moore caught on the outside lane. James Henry, I should say, goes by. And now Dylan Young tries to go inside in the number 2 car. He's got Keith Batson following him and the 17 of Jessica Shelton, who now moves to the inside of, tries to move inside of Dylan Poteet for position. That is 9th and 10th on your screen right now. And Levi McIntyre trying to move inside of both of them. And he's got Joshua Osborne behind him too in that number 20 car. Poteet pulls back ahead. Shelton falls back in line into turn number 2. And you jump on board with Jessica Shelton. On the brakes there, down about 136 miles an hour to turn number 3. Off corner number 3, 170 miles an hour. Down the front stretch, she's got the drive off Keith Batson, so she should be well over 200 miles an hour to turn number 1. Yeah, 203 miles an hour to be exact. Saw 203 blank going to turn number 1. Down about 172 in the middle of turn number 1. Step back, she got a long control, 203. And 203, then it turns around to turn number 2. Shelton running 11th right now in the number 17 DeWalt Tools Ford. Behind her is Phil Parker, number 40. He runs in 12th. 13th is Chung. 14th now is William Brock. Joshua Osborne still having trouble on the high side lane in that Home Depot Pontiac. Seth Cole and Cole Deaver both behind them. And meantime, 3 wide, or they were 3 wide, but Levi McIntyre gets by both Keith Batson and tries to get by the 33 car of Daniel Bouchard, but Bouchard has the draft off of Poteet's car, and so does Batson now off of Bouchard. Shelton trying to figure out who she wants to go with. Into turn number 3 they go here, and there's the rear bumper came off Levi McIntyre's car, the rear bumper of the 99 Office Depot Chevrolet, Office Depot Ford, excuse me. Levi driving the Carl Edwards colors this season, and at number 99 Office Depot Ford. 201 miles an hour to turn number 1 with McIntyre. He tries to get by Bouchard. Bouchard tries to move. Batson and Bouchard got a little bit close to each other to come off turn number off the first corner. And now Batson dives underneath, tries to get position away here. Poteet, meantime, gets by James Henry in the 25 car. And Dylan Young, who was up to about 2nd position, he now falls back. And Fitzwater pulls back ahead for 2nd place now. Quentin Moore at the 3rd position now. 4th position is Orman, and Dylan Young is now up at 5th. And there is Dylan Poteet. Poteet right now the points leader coming in this event. He has had the points lead for the last couple of races. Trying to go for his 2nd championship in this series. His first since way back in season number 1, if you can believe that. They head off to a number, they head off the 3rd corner, and Poteet tries to make a run on the outside. He's got McIntyre behind him in the 99 machine. And meantime, James Henry goes back inside of Poteet for the, looks like that's for the 6th position. In the turn number 2 they go, and here comes McIntyre back inside of Poteet again. Batson by way runs 9th. Shelton is in 10th as she's gotten by Bouchard for position. Osborne now back up to 12th. Cole Deaver's running 13th or 15th position right now. Excuse me. 16th is Parker. 17th is Chung. Mike Becker's taking 18th away from. I think Becker's 18th now. Yes, he is. He's got by Seth Cole for position. Seth Cole's 19th and 20th is Charles Sanford. In the 24 cars, Charles moves inside now of the number 5. The number 5 Kellogg's Parkway Chevrolet as he rides the roof pan on Charles Sanford's car. Goes up on his teammate Seth Cole. Charles drops it down about 140 miles an hour into turn number 3. Back on the throttle he goes, gets the draft off Seth Cole's car, 173 miles an hour. Turn number 3 goes to 24 machine. Down the front stretch he goes, 204 miles an hour to turn number 1. And down about 170 going into on the second corner, or the first corner, excuse me. And Charles at 201 going to turn number 2. Down about 168 miles an hour. And see how fast he goes, 192 miles on the turn number 3, and down about 139 miles an hour on the third corner. Here's the throttle backed up on that 24 machine. By Cole Deaver, not to get by John Andrews, the 16th car. That lap for Charles, 178.902 miles an hour. That moved Charles by way up to 19th position by way right now. He'll be back he'll be back. Here it is. As he tries to move his way back up to the field is what I'm trying to say here. And meantime, new leader, Zachary Fitzwater, car 32, now is out in front as we're about to approach the halfway point of this race. Off the third corner he comes right here. Quentin Moore's up to second position. Third is now James Henry, who's been very, very strong the last several races on the tour here. Talking about the guy in the number 25, that light blue and white number 25. There he is. That's the third member of the Hendrick stable. Off corner number 1 they come here. But James Henry, as I mentioned, he's been on a bit of a roll. Remember, he was on a bit of a roll with that 25 car last season in the second half of the year. And it seems like this team is a win looking for a place to happen, much like guys like Phil Parker and a couple of others when it comes to trying to find that key to victory lane. Now Jesse Turner, who had the lead for a good bit, but now he decides he wants to go for the lead once again. That's Sharpie Ford. Remember, Turner won the season at Martinsville, the back early in the season, and hopes to try to get a second victory of the season. And here comes Henry to the inside of Quentin Moore. Our number 5 to the low side, and he's got second for the time being, but Quentin's got the charge on the outside lane. And meantime, Dylan Young begins to roll to the low side, and number 2 machine up to second place, or actually, excuse me, third place. And he's going to bring Levi McIntyre with him in the number 99 car. So some new players being up there about to get up there for that top spot. Young is up to third, Moore down to fourth, and McIntyre up to fifth position now. 6th right now is Jesse Turner. 7th is Nathan Orman. Keith Batson's 8th. Joshua Osborne has moved up to 9th. And Daniel Bouchard has gotten by Jessica Shelton for the 10th position. And battle for the lead now. Here comes James Henry in that 25 car. Are you talking about how strong that car's been? Well, here he comes inside for the number 1 spot now. And he's got it off the 3rd corner. He's got one of the best, Dylan Young, behind him in that 2 car. Young, the defending series champion. And he by no means is out of the points chase this season, by the way, too. He's still keeping it close there. Poteet's the leader of the points coming into this race, by the way, as we mentioned. But Young having another consistent top 5 season. In the turn number 3 they go, or turn number 2, excuse me, as Fitzwater's up to 3rd, and Orman just pinched himself up down low on the 55 car of Quentin Moore. Moore down the 5th position now, and now here comes Keith Batson to the low side. Batson, Osborne, and Bouchard. They've all gotten by Jesse Turner, as has Jessica Shelton. Down the front stretch they come here, as you see Bouchard trying to move inside of Osborne now looks like for number 9 position now. Actually 9th or 8th, something like that, whichever, but Osborne pulls back ahead now, and here comes Shelton to the left side, coming off that disappointing run she had in the 400 at Daytona. And that bad run cost her the points lead, though. But she's trying to get herself back. But she's still in contention for the points, I should say, too. We're just in the second half of the year. But a lot of things can happen here. Shelton, of course, going into that race here, had won. I think it was like 3 of the last 6 races prior to the 400. She had won at Sonoma, she had won at California, and she had won at Dover, in addition, of course, to her win in the Daytona 500. Closing up on the back of the 88 car, Keith Batson. And somebody's up in the wall. That's Phil Parker in the 40 car. Oh, Parker's slow, too. 174 miles an hour in the 3rd turn. And Bill was running 13th when this all happened, too. So he drops down to now. Parker now drops to from 13th down to about 25th, I think, is what it said. Yep. So Parker dropping back a bit right here as they come down the back stretch, come down the long pong straight. Now there's the rest of the field right there for you. Amanda Evans, there's Ryan Butcher, Tina West McCoy, and tailing along is Kyle Matthews in the number 42 car. Still in the lead lap, and Kyle's hoping for a yellow flag to fly so he can get himself back into contention and maybe pick up some headway. Meantime, back up front, it is still James Henry out in front here, going for his first ever Castrol GTX Series victory. And can he hold them all off in about the last 8 laps? Well, we'll find out. Like I said, he's got 2 of the best this season, Dylan Young and Nathan Orman. Orman having another solid season so far. He had a solid season last season. Number 18 car, I think, came in top 10 in the points last year. But looking strong again this season. 2 wins this season but for him, and also 2 for Young. If Henry should win this race here, he'll not only become the first winner this season, first time winner in the series ever, but he'll become the 11th different winner if he or Fitzwater or Levi McIntyre or Quentin Moore can win here today. If one of those 4 can win, it'll be the 11th different winner this season. Off into turn number 2 they come here. This time by will complete the 24th lap. Will be down to 6 to go when they come across the start-finish line this time by. Caution-free so far, they're averaging just a little over 178 miles an hour here at Pocono Raceway. Again, Nathan Orman still has the fastest sub race at 182.076. But Dylan Young got a good run that time, come off that third corner. He comes to the inside on the front stretch. Let's see what happens in the turn number 1. Goes the Miller Lite Dodge. And James Henry has the high side to his advantage. We've been seeing a lot of cars get runs on the outside of the track. And Henry used that to his advantage, and he moves back past, I should say, stays in front of Poteet for the time being. Inside of Levi McIntyre on number 99. Up to the 5th position now. He's like 3rd position. McIntyre trying to follow through, and whoa! That's one of the squeezes himself between Orman and McIntyre. And that shoved McIntyre up the high side, and now here comes Quentin Moore trying to get position away. And McIntyre pulls back ahead now. That's 5th and 6th position on your screen. Bouchard running 7th, Osborne's 8th, Poteet's 9th, and Jesse Turner runs in 10th position. Off turn number 3 they come here. James Henry still holding on. He has got now 4 laps to go. But here comes Dylan Young back to the low side of Henry. He's got it this time, I think. Yes, he does. Dylan Young up to the top spot, but James Henry fights back on the outside again. This time battling with Nathan Orman for 2nd place. Off into the turn number 2. McIntyre now pulls back behind Orman. That leaves Fitzwater the odd man out this time, and here comes Orman, stays inside of Fitzwater. Got to the position now, going into turn number 3. Orman to 3rd. Orman at 3rd, Fitzwater in 4th position, McIntyre running 5th, and Quentin Moore, the caboose of this train, in 6th position. Here comes Jesse Turner inside again of Dylan Poteet. That's for 7th. But here comes Bouchard down the low side. He's gotten past William Brock in the 4 car. But off the 2nd turn now. Meantime, another position about to be exchanged here. Here comes Fitzwater for 3rd position. He's got McIntyre inside of him now. Here, let's see what happens going down into turn number 1. 2 laps to go at Pocono. Here in the AC Spark Plugs 4, there's been a tremendous race so far. Dylan Young trying to hold him off for his 3rd win of the season. James Henry trying to go for his 1st ever win in this series. Can he pull it off? Well, we'll find out in the final lap and a half. If he could get Fitzwater behind him and try to get a draft, he could possibly do it. But the outside lane, as we saw it going off to number 1, has been the dominant line. Oh, here comes Fitzwater's going to spoil the party for James Henry. This may be all she wrote right here, because Dylan Young's going to see the white flag this time by. Fitzwater to 2nd place. .35 of a second that time by between 1st and 2nd position now, as Orman pushes Fitzwater to the inside for 2nd place, and he's got it. Now does Fitzwater have anything for Dylan Young? James Henry drops to third. McIntyre moves inside of Orman now, and he's got the push from the 55 car of Quentin Moore. 6 cars to decide it all here at Pocono as they come out as they go into turn number 3. Fitzwater's got to make one more attempt. He comes to the inside of Young for the for the lead. This is for the win. Here they come up the third turn. Young's to the outside. Fitzwater to the low side. It's gonna be, I don't know. What a finish here at Pocono. It looked like they're going to be a single foul coming across the start-finish line. Then Fitzwater got the inside lane. Then scoring pylon gives it to Dylan Young, his 3rd win of the season, by a margin of 1/100th of a second at the start-finish line between the 2 and the 32 cars. Boy, let's look at that again. Fitzwater got a tremendous run to the inside lane of Dylan Young as they are about to come off turn number 3. And boy, Fitzwater, I thought the run he had, I thought he was going to pull it off here too. They came across the start-finish line. Young's on the outside in the 2 car. The 32 of Fitzwater. And it is going to be Dylan, and it is indeed Dylan Young is going to win it by that much at the start-finish line. That was really close. Between those 2 cars. There's the margin right there. So Dylan Young gets his 3rd victory of the season, adding on to his wins at North Wilkesboro and Darlington. And there you see the margin at the start finish line, 100th of a second exactly. Average speed 178.169 miles an hour. Fitzwater will finish 2nd. 3rd, we'll go to James Henry. Another solid day for the 25 team. Nathan Orman with a 4th place run. 5th to Levi McIntyre. 6th, Quentin Moore. 7th will go to Dylan Potey. 8th to Daniel Bouchard. 9th to Jesse Turner. And William Brock will finish in 10th. 11th place will go to Laura Chung. Another solid day for her. For Laura in that 38 team. Seth Cole 12th, Joshua Osborne 13th, Matt McIntyre 14th, Charles Sanford moved up into the top 15, finishes 15th in this race here today. 16th will go to Ryan George, 17th Cole Deaver, 18th Mike Becker, 19th Keith Batson, 20th John Andrews, Jessica Shelton dropped to 21st, 22nd will go to James Sykes, Paul Minnick 23rd, Trent Dunham 24th, 25th will go to Kat Batson, and Alexander Rowe, Samant Oscon, Ryan Brommer, Zach Winkle, Tito McCoy, Gabby Conklin, Allison Rain, Phil Parker, Christian Vargas, Amanda Evans, Roberto Crown Jr., Clint Buchanan, Wes McCoy, Ryan Butcher, and Kyle Matthews. Not the day Kyle wanted, as he fell way back in the points after Daytona, and he's going to fall further back in the points coming into the next up on the tour at Talladega for the Die Hard 500, which is next on the tour. And I'm not BSing you on this one neither, by the way. Sorry on that. Yeah, for those of you who are looking forward to New Hampshire, sorry about that, but we made up for that with a great finish at Pocono, especially if you're Dylan Young. Congratulations once again to him for his 3rd victory of the season. If you like what you see here, be sure to subscribe to the NNSCRA Sports and Gaming channel. We got everything on this channel. We got NR races, we got gaming videos, we got NR online videos. Whatever the president of the NNSCRA, Seth Cole, desires to have for his channel, be sure to check out Seth's Duracell Cup series, the main series on his channel, and also be sure to check out our 2 channels that does NNSCRA offline series, the NNSCRA Spectrum Mobile Cup series from channel X8675309-858X, and that's the channel from our race winner Dylan Young. And also be sure to subscribe to his channel for some cool stuff, and also subscribe to Thrashman899 for some cool stuff as well too. He's the guy that does the NNSCRA Marvel Studios Cup series. And of course, so be sure to check out that channel as well too, and also be sure to subscribe to this channel here too. And if you want in on next season, on future seasons of this NNSCRA Duracell Cup series, be sure to get with Seth, and he'll get you going on that series too. And besides, he's the main series on the channel, and so there you have it with that. So that will do here today at Pocono. For now, this is James Qualls. This has been a production of the NNSCRA, celebrating 10 years of off-road racing at its best. We will see you at Talladega for the Die Hard 500.